Hey everyone, so today we're joined by one of our new residents, New Zealand residents, Marianne. Marianne, could you introduce yourself a bit to our viewers today? Tell us a bit about
Hi.
yourself.
Yeah, so hi, good evening. So it's actually night here in New Zealand. So kung saan man kayong part ng mundo ngayon. So, um, well, I've been here in New Zealand for 3 years. So I left the Philippines September 2022 as a student, having a student visa. Tapos I studied for, yung nandun sa course ko is 18 months, but I was able to finish it, like ahead of time. So, and then I got a job after a month, so thank God. And then and then I work under a post study visa, and then after a year, Rappi helped us again, so we apply for resident visa. And again, thank God, after a month now we are a resident of New Zealand.
So, Marianne, you've actually had quite a journey, no? It's super cool. Kasi parang, I remember medyo ano ka pa yung mga at the start of yung pag-reopen ng border, and yung mga time na we started communicating. Could you tell us a bit about your background in the Philippines? Ano yung ginagawa mo before ka nag-move to New Zealand?
Mhm. So before we moved to New Zealand, actually, uh, siguro just over a year pa lang kami married ng asawa ko. And then
Mhm.
yung anak namin is just turned 1 year old. And then, kasi we moved September 2022, and I resigned my last work from LRT1 August 2022. So I worked in LRT1 for almost 7 years.
Tagal
So
din, ah. Mm.
yeah.
Alright. So, from ano no, from what I remember of yung kwento ninyo, when you were making that decision, may family ka na kasi based in New Zealand, and they had a different pathway compared dun sa ginawa mo. So, knowing na merong other options apart from yung student visa, ano yung nagpa-decide sa'yo to go ahead and just go study in New Zealand?
Mm. Um, my sister was here, the eldest sister. So they moved here 2019. And actually, I remember I was really happy for them. So she's showing me, oh, this is a nice country, very, yung people is very nice and accommodating yung mga co-workers ni Kuya at work.
Mm.
And I wasn't really interested to come in
Oh,
New Zealand.
really?
Kasi
Hindi ko alam yun, ah.
because I have a good career in LRT.
Yeah.
So parang in the management, they have plans for me, 'di ba? So kaso nga lang yung mga boss ko sa LRT1, they also parang started to leave one by one kasi they're doing MBA. So that's where got the idea of doing
Mm,
MBA. So
okay.
yung isang manager went to UK, and then yung pinaka-direct manager ko went to Japan. Tapos
Mm.
and then after that, so I remember first trimester nung pregnancy ko, that is kind of weird because nakikita ko ng mga videos sa YouTube is about someone who went to New Zealand and
Mm.
did MBA. Tapos na-mention niya,
Mm.
I remember that was a woman eh. Sabi niya,
Mm.
I did MBA and then I was able to bring my family with me.
Mm.
So from then on, actually that was one night. And then I started to research about it. So, hindi ko
Mm.
sinasabi sa sister ko na nagre-research ako kasi marami siya
Yeah.
idea. So, kasi it's very interesting na nagsama yung dalawang bagay na gusto kong
Mm.
i-achieve. Diba? Doing MBA, at the same time, ayoko mahiwalay sa family ko. So, I wanna bring them with me when I study. And,
Mm.
when I heard about New Zealand, bonus na lang na pwede ka palang maging residente pa after doing MBA. So, that's the start.
Mm. Okay, in my head, it was niyaya ka ng sister mo. And like, yun
Actually,
talaga yung nag-prompt. That was really good. Sobrang naaliw ako every time na people talk about yung journey na nag-start sa YouTube, no? So parang minsan na-underestimate ko talaga yung just like the videos that get put out and how nag-affect talaga siya ng lives ng ibang tao. No? Back then, no, meron na yung green list eh. Parang nag-transition si New Zealand from yung dati niyang shortage list to the green list. And like even until now, like accountants, like you haven't been on the shortage list. So was there something na that made you confident to press on na knowing na okay, wala siya sa green list? Was there something that gave you yung last na daw to move forward anyway?
Of course, during that time, what if may naisip kang what if. Pero, nawawala yun kapagka nagre-research ka eh. Tapos nakikita mo yung things that you need to do in order to at least mitigate yung possible risk for you not to get a job, di ba? So, and I think nakita ko na rin na dapat is right from the start is you just need to align yung bachelor's degree, whatever you want to study, and also your work experience. And then you will have a great chance of finding a job. So, ayun yung ano. Kasi, dapat aralin mo din yung pathway ng student para at the end of it, hindi ka malalost. Oh, what happened? Why this study didn't work for me? So,
So as part of your research mo, was that something na inisip mo rin na kasi dahil finance yung background mo, there's also an option for you to go down yung accounting route, yung like doing a master's of accounting versus an MBA. So paano ka nag-settle on yung decision between yung dalawang types na yun ng courses?
yes, actually, when I read about the Master of Accounting, nakita ko yan eh, during my research before. So, tinignan ko rin siya. However, sabi ko, this is very related na to my bachelor's degree. So, parang sabi ko, hindi kaya uulitin ko lang yung inaral ko. Plus, CPA na ako. So, tapos aaralin ko pa ulit yung Masters of Accounting. So, and also, what convinced me the most was that yung MBA kasi parang sabi ko, okay, if I wanted to go back to the Philippines in the future, I can still use the MBA. Kasi like most of the job in the Philippines, they will require you to have MBA. If you want to be in the higher position, so they will want you to have that one kasi it's more on leadership skills being developed to you. So,
that's a really good point. Oo nga, no? Lalo na yung specifically if you're looking to go back home. No? Dito kasi talagang ano siya no? Mahilig sa masters. Lalo na in government. I noticed that na there are some positions talaga na you can't be considered unless meron ka ng masters. And usually it's an MBA. Tama ka?
Yes, that's correct.
Alright. So, what was the master's like for you? So, finance yung background mo, but you did something na related, but a bit of, hindi naman siya departure, pero parang next step na talaga siya for like leadership. Ano yung naging experience mo with studying an MBA?
It's very instrumental for my success. Kasi during my study, you will gain friends kasi that will be part of your network. That's one thing. And then in school, so that's the first area or place where you learn to mingle with diverse culture. Plus, most of our teachers are also they've been here. Some of them born here. Diba? So they share what's the culture of Kiwi. Diba? So meron kaming subjects na multicultural. So they teach you how to respect other culture. Ibig sabihin what can offend them if they're not talking or the food that you eat or what should be your response whenever you are in the cafeteria. So something like that. So plus of course being on time, I think Another big change is really, I really learned to value the time of other people here. So, Kiwi, we heard Japanese time, diba? So, ahead of time. So, but it's Kiwi, don't be late. It speaks some things about the person kasi if you're really late. So, it's about respect. So, actually, sa work ko ngayon, we work 8 hours pero I've never been late. Parang siguro majority of my time, always 30 minutes early. So,
Mm.
parang naging discipline ka na yan. So,
Mm.
nasagot ko ba yung tanong mo? So, how helpful was the
Yeah, yeah.
MBA? And, ano pa ba ang, hindi naman siya big shift. Hindi siya big jump kasi, yung MBA, it's like, majority of the subjects are in general siya, di ba? So, it's about economics, it's about, culture and leadership, global strategy. Pero yung sa amin kasi, the school offered the AIS. So you get to choose a specification at the end of the term. So you can choose marketing, logistics, and finance. Good thing there's finance there. So, of course, I will choose finance. So, at first nga, medyo sarado pa yata yung finance nila. So, I just off to do logistics. Pero, yung teacher ko mismo, in one subject, I guess, when she learned about that I am a CPA and finance yung background ko, sabi niya, no, it's open now. You should go and choose finance.
Oh.
So, finance is beautiful. So, siya yung nag-encourage sa
Mm.
akin. Thank God may kinorek niya ako doon sa choose ko. So,
Yeah.
sa chosen path ko. So, kasi nga mas maganda align siya. And, and I enjoy the finance subjects. Yun yung pinakamataas kong mga grade, yung finance subject. So, yeah.
What was it about yung finance na na-enjoy mo? Kasi parang, di ba, yun yung isang apprehension mo dun sa, accounting na masters, na parang, same lang. So, what was
Kasi-
unique dun sa subjects na finance?
Kasi during the MBA, there's a lot of theory, diba? Theory discussions, is reality cases about different companies. So, parang ang dami na namin ganun eh. So, yung specialization towards the end. So, parang makita mo ulit, oh, this is my language. So, parang it makes you feel, na-miss ko to ah. So,
Yeah.
saka yung some of the formulas that we use during my bachelor's degree. So, na-recall ko ulit siya doon. So, that's, it makes me interested. Yung finance subject kasi is different from accounting. So, here is more on like present values, valuations of cash. So, hindi naman ganyan. That's not accounting itself. So, finance is different from accounting. So, it's like more on cash flows and time values of money. So, same language because it's about cash management, no? So, as a whole. Pero, hindi pa rin ito yung pinaka ginagamit ko sa work dati. So, kaya, siya, mas exciting yung naging experience ko with that.
Okay. So, what was it? Kasi parang pagkakaalala ko nun, because of yung choice ng school mo, were you taking classes every day?
No?
Hindi na.
No.
So, what was that like? What was your day-to-day like as a student?
So, that's one of the major reasons why ko na choose yung school na AIS because they offered classes during weekends only. So, because I know ahead na sabi ko, kasi I have a child, so at least Monday to Friday when my husband goes to work, I can attend to her somehow, and this is the time for me to work part-time as well, and also to do some assignments. So, nakita ko na yung gano'n na, this will work for me best. So, not, yung decision na yun is not only coming from me. So, in every decisions that I do, I try to research, ask my husband, so ask my sisters here. So, I'm blessed because I have my sister here. So, pag may nakikita ako sa YouTube, I have somebody to validate me. Is this true? is this really happening? Do they have this here? So, so, yun. So, yun yung yung nakatulong sa akin.
Great. So after you graduated, a lot of people ask kasi na parang madali ba makahanap ng trabaho once you graduate? What was your experience like? Ano yung reality nung naging job hunt mo?
Okay. Well, it's not easy. I guess it's the reality for most, diba? So, but I completed my MBA February 2024. I got my post-study visa March 15, 2024. April 15, 2024, I started my full-time job na. And until today, nandun pa ako sa company na yun, di ba? So, it's just a month. So, so I guess it's persistent, a lot of efforts, and more prayers. So, and ayun yung sasabi ko sa mga gusto mag-MBA dito in the future. So, it's really important that you have experience, di ba? So, hindi ka lalabas ng bansa nang wala ka man lang experience. So, you have valuable experience. And then, I really wanted to do MBA. So, and then, inisip ko talaga what I wanted to take. So, MBA and with finance specification. So, ayun, dapat naka-align siya. Hindi yung at the end of job hunting, saka mo palang ma-realize, oh my gosh, ito pala yung experience ko. And then, ito pala yung inaral ko. And ito pala yung gusto kong hanapin na work. You see, the misalignment. So, ikaw nga hindi mo nga ma-justify sa sarili mo. How can you justify it to the employer, di ba?
Yeah.
So, you have to carefully think about everything at the start.
Oh, could you tell us a bit about ano yung naging current role mo? So like, what do you actually do now? Kasi hindi ka naman nag-practice as an accountant, right?
Yes,
Not an accounting firm or anything, yeah.
Oh, so I was never been in a public practice kahit nasa LRT1 ako. So I was a revenue and financial system manager there. And my first work here until today is finance coordinator. So it's like general accounting, you have bank reconciliation, month-end closing, account analysis. So yeah, the usual, like in accounting operations. So there's payables and receivables, and you close the book. So that's the usual thing that we do.
So based on sa experience mo, because like, a question we get a lot, diba, is not just yung parang, pag green list, meron ba talagang opportunity, is when you're in like yung mga admin and like business function roles, parang ang assumption ng mga tao is those roles don't really exist. Hindi siya open to somebody who's not a New Zealand citizen or resident. Do you think that's true? Or ano yung take mo dun? Like mga accounting and like business sort of roles.
Well, you mentioned admin role. There's a lot of admin roles here. So, and meron nga, I know, 100% hindi sila hybrid, 100% work from home yung mga admin roles. So, and even in our company, so we have a lot of sites. So we do have a lot of admin roles in different sites. And parang what you're saying is a generic business course. No? Parang yun yung sinasabi nila. So I'm not sure about that because I don't know kung paano naghahanap ng work or gaano katagal makahanap ng work yung isang business, just a business course, diba? So that's why siguro kaya nga dapat I think if you are in a business, if you're in a business role, kahit pa paano may specific tasks or descriptions that you do diba? Tapos naka-add na lang yung MBA kasi MBA yung ibang MBA sa AUT medyo generic siya, diba? So you don't necessarily need to explain the MBA itself. Kasi people naman knows it's about leadership. 'di ba? So, yung MBA meron ding accounting for manager na course na subjects doon and marketing. So, I guess it's very important to leverage yung naging past experience mo. Yun yung pinaka din na isa sa importante na you have to check if that kind of job is at least meron dito sa New Zealand ba? Or kung hindi specific job title, yung mga ginagawa mo. Is that if you search in Seek in New Zealand, meron tapos makita mo yung job descriptions. Yun ba ay similar to the things that you do? Diba? Kasi employer kasi will ask you so what you do before, diba? So, tas makikita rin yun dun sa CV mo. Diba? At least you have to. Kasi in New Zealand, it's really, do you know how to do this job? Can you do this job? So, dito hindi more on sa paper lang. If you really, and they trust you with that. Whatever you write in the CV, they will try to scrutinize you in the interview and to make sure that as much as possible what you've written is true, di ba? And they will really trust na ginagawa mo yun because and that's what they needed. So, yeah.
Parang what I'm hearing is there are opportunities naman, pero if you really want to succeed in finding the right kind of job, you're gonna have more success kung medyo may depths ka in the area na you have experience in. So parang hindi yung enough na may general knowledge ka in, kunwari business, for example. But valued yung expertise talaga, no?
Yes.
Okay. So, yung journey ng family mo, no? You husband and your baby. This took a couple of years to do. So medyo from student to resident, it's a couple of years and medyo ilang visa for the different family members. Yung process, did you find it as straightforward as you expected to be? Kasi you're super research, diba? And ano yung mga aspects ng process that you found most complicated?
Straightforward, yes. So, student visa, post-study. Now we're in resident, diba? So, and here are the requirements. It's very clear naman. So, you lay down all these things. Complicated, I guess, when it comes to aligning the job descriptions that I have with ANSCO job descriptions that they list in as a requirement, as one of the requirements. So that's a bit complicated for me. So dapat naka-align siya. That's why it's very important again. So that right from the start, diba? Kahit paano nakikita mo na yung pathway mo. Hindi yung at the end, saka palang lahat natin ihahanda, di ba? So, kaya sa umpisa pa lang, alam mo na mismo yung ilaland mo. So, ito yung magiging prospect ko na role, somewhere related to this, di ba? So, para, yung hahanapin mong trabaho is specifically targeting din doon. Diba? Ako, accountant ako. Hindi naman ako naghanap ng job na marketing. Diba? So, somehow, inalign ko rin siya doon. Tsaka nung binigay yung job description sa akin, tinignan ko na rin siya na, okay, medyo pasok to doon sa ANSCO. So, ano pa bang complicated? Well, complicated. Ayun lang. And also, siguro, it's very important to be prepared ahead. Kasi alam mo naman na, yung visa mag-change na. So, dapat all the requirements are ready. Proof of relationships, all those things. I-gather mo na as much as possible. So, hindi nakaka-overwhelm when the time comes na submission na. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that, yung when we were talking about yung ANSCO codes na for you to use for residents. Medyo mahabang discussion yun eh.
Yeah.
Inisa-isa pa natin yung the different tasks, yung parang ano mangyayari if you choose this one over that one. So, siguro what people might now ask as they watch this is sobrang straightforward pala. like predictable na, okay, student visa, post-study, and then residence. Ba't ka pa kumuha ng advisor? Like, what was sa'yo, in your decision-making, what was the point kung kaya naman siyang i-research and then you found na it was all straightforward?
Okay. Yeah, that's really true, diba? So, and some of my friends at school, they do their own applications. Pero for me and my husband, we really wanted someone to do this alongside with us, diba? So, kasi I understand that Kiwi, very honest ng mga tao eh. So, kumbaga, I'm not saying that you will lie, diba, in your document, but, you know, ayoko na magkakaroon ng mistake because na-overlook mo. So, I wanted someone to do this with me to review. And I know for a fact that this is not my expertise. So, and siguro, one factor kaya nakahanap ako ng work in a month, diba? Kasi I don't fully consume my mind in terms of those aspects. In terms of my visa, I let somebody who is expert to handle that. That's not my forte. And besides, hindi lang naman ako yung nandito eh. I have my family and also my daughter with me, diba, with the visa. And it's very important. So, I want the document to be 100% correct. So, kasi sa corporate world na, diba, there are levels of checks and controls. So, I believe in that. And that's making sure of, you know, not making, lessening the risk of, not being approved by immigration. And hindi lang naman dahil sa sinabi mo na, oh, if they made mistake on this one, baka they would think that your character is, damage to your character or something like that. So, pero a lot of people will say that, diba? So, tsaka, nakita ko yung mga, baka manood yung iba, yung iba na ginagawa, they do it on their own. So, I know na-stress din yun sa kanila. Kasi, sinasabay nila dun sa ibang aspect ng mga personal things. So, I guess, well, it's not, it has a cost, of course. Siyempre naman, di ba, you hired expertise, di ba? Inaral mo yan, that's your expertise. So, you need to be paid on that one. So, I respect that. So, ako din, kung accountant ako, di ba? So, people pay me for that expertise, di ba? So, kaya, yun. So, kung uulitin ko man ulit, I would still have an advisor. So, then, for that reason.
Yeah. It really resonated with me yung sinabi mo na parang the fact na parang hindi mo siya iniisip, freed you up to focus on the things that only you could do, diba? Na parang other people can't secure the job for you. Even if you talk about recruiters and stuff, really, diba? Parang ikaw yung magta-turn up kasi sa interviews. You're the one who has to be prepared for the interviews and, writing your cover letters and that sort of stuff. And hindi mo rin maalis kasi yung fact na as a human, meron things na only you can do then, like being a mom and like being a wife.
Correct.
And diba, parang really thinning out, and it's more of parang determining your priorities. Kasi limited, everybody, diba, 24 lang naman ang oras sa isang araw, and you have to choose kung saan mo siya gagamitin. Ayun. So, I have a question for you, no? Like, so now, na-achieve nyo na yung goal, diba? Actually, parang sa inyo bonus yung maging resident kasi the original goal was master's, maging MBA. So ngayon, nakuha mo na yung bonus na residence na. You and your family, how do you feel looking back at the process, what it took to get here? Kasi it wasn't like, walk in the park, diba?
Oh. Well, I'm really happy I took a step of faith. So, masyadong hindi maganda yung life na walang risk. So, dapat dapat
Spice of life.
so if you wanted to, kasi wala yung faith kung walang risk, diba? Do you know the outcome of everything? So, and no regret. So that was 3 years ago. I remember I don't know. I really believe it's also the direction of the Lord. I can also say that I'm never, hindi na ako yung dating ako. So, being here in New Zealand God has changed me a lot. So, um, yung parang akala mo hindi mo na maaalala yung Pilipinas. Though, actually, mas may compassion ka to your country. So, mas humble. So, because you know that, oh, God has given us a great blessing to be here in New Zealand. So, that was uh, that was my feeling during my last vacation. So, parang mas ano ka, mas mababa yung loob mo, mas humble ka, di ba? Kasi parang nag-succeed ka and God was able to help you succeed, di ba? So, hindi lahat ng tao nabibigyan ng pagkakataon to be a dual citizens in the future. So, hindi pa naman. But, so, ayun. And it's also great feeling na you have a goal tas you achieve it, di ba? So, and they say na, di ba, if you do mountain climbing, yung what you recall is the journey, not the feeling when you're on top of the mountain, di ba? So, and it helps us now in our life na parang, oh, imagine what we had, what are the steps we took to be able to be here, di ba? So, we remember those nights that we sit down together as husband and wife. We list down, this is our goal, this is our step, this is our money, this is timeline, what we need to pray for. So, and then every time you wanted to achieve, because God will give you another desire. Oh no, iba na naman yung gusto namin. We wanted to buy a new house, a first house in the future after certain years, di ba? So you will go back on, oh, ano yung naging process niyan sa atin, di ba? So there are a lot of uncertainties, and yet, remember that we are together in this plan, tapos we pray about it, and we achieve it. And, oh, well, life will be boring. Stuck ka na lang ba sa ganyan? Hindi mo na, kumbaga, you wanted to do something, pero you don't make a move. You don't make a step about it, diba? So, just, if you really want that, kaya naman siya if you really try to make a step forward.
Yeah. I think, that's something a little bit unexpected for me, like in this interview, na yung perspective na how yung just going through this sort of process with yung spouse mo, inakatibay siya ng family.
Yes.
Not in a, alam mo yun, chaotic kayo before, but more of yung the required, yung pagiging in sync ninyo, yung doing things, being in step, having to set the expectations together, knowing na medyo magsa-struggle kayo for a while, and then you have to establish yourself. Kasi like when you guys did this, hindi pa kayo super tagal na married, diba? Parang it's like quite newly married,
Yes.
young child. It's like honestly, medyo super adjustment period ba yun,
Yes.
diba?
That's
And then
correct.
sinamahan nyo pa ng lipat tayo ng bansa, diba?
Yeah. And hindi kami long engagement. We're just boyfriend-girlfriend 1 year. Totally stranger.
Yeah.
So parang ito rin yung period na kinikilala namin yung isa't isa.
Yeah.
So,
Sobrang exciting, naming change sabay-sabay.
yes.
So, for your next question ko, I think you might have answered it a bit in part, no? Parang now that you guys are New Zealand residents, what are you looking forward to?
Well, of course, dati pa naman, yung NC passport and to be a New Zealand citizen, and also to be able to buy our first home here. So, yeah, so yun, that's something that look forward. And yung makauwi kami sa Pilipinas ng siguro mga kahit once a year or two, once every 2 years. So,
Siguro a follow-up question, like, diba, you were talking about citizenship and having a New Zealand passport. What does a New Zealand passport represent to you? Parang why is it something na aspirational just sa'yo?
Well, reality. Bukod sa you can travel a lot of countries without a visa, no? So, parang you know that yung passport na yan is hindi biro bago mo makuha, di ba? So, kung it reminds you of all the challenges and journey that you've been through. It reminds you about God's faithfulness in your life, that you had this desire, and through prayers, God will grant you that, diba? So ito na nga yung passport, diba? So, and also, I thank the Lord kasi dito niya kami ni-lead. So, Kiwi people, New Zealanders, they have a good reputation in terms of they're very honest, diba? So, nakikita naman namin dito, hindi sila corrupt. So, and
What a timely thing to say.
to be honest, ako
Mm.
ako ay finance person, accountant ako. So, ngayon I handle payments and money and bank aspect. Nakikita ko kung gaano talaga ka-honest yung mga Kiwi. At mas wala nga kaming internal audit in our office eh. Sa Pilipinas, ang daming auditors. Bakit? Not because a lot are doing bad things, diba? But to impose control as part of the regulations, diba? So, ayun, and totoo na, it's less crime in New Zealand, so it's very peaceful. So, hindi siya perfect country, meron pa rin, pero not like other countries, diba? So, mas maraming crime, mas kabado ka pag umaalis ka sa labas, diba? So, and we like the way they live. So, parang mas haba yung buhay mo.
Alam
And
mo,
then,
that comes up a lot pag nakakausap ko yung mga tao kasi parang feel nila yung stress levels nila bumababa. Whether it's yung sa work, diba, hindi siya toxic, hindi ka stuck in traffic all the time, mga ganyan. It's like a very common thing people say, na feeling mo hahaba talaga buhay mo.
Oo, kasi pagkain na lang nila, 'di ba? So, parang yung mga gulay and fruits dito, and also the fish and meat. So, parang mas iba sa atin diyan. So, hindi ko naman ma-compare sa iba kasi hindi naman ako nakapagtira sa ibang bansa dito at saka sa Pilipinas. And yung klima. So, first mag-a-adjust ka sa climate, 'di ba? So, you will get sick, usual cough and colds, 'di ba? But eventually your body will adjust din naman, and you will appreciate it, and maiinitan ka pag umuwi sa atin.
Yeah. I was just thinking about yung sinabi mo about the passport and what it represents. And it made me think of yung like survival in the Old Testament. Yung pag nagsiset up sila ng altar, di ba? Like after God had done something for the people. I think yun, it's a really beautiful thing to say na it's not, just the function of a passport, di ba? Na it's easy to travel, but it's a physical reminder of the journey that you've gone through, plus yung, I guess, what you now identify with, like in terms of culture and lifestyle, na hindi naman sa inabandon mo yung pagka-Pilipino mo, it's nag-add ka to it. It's you're, parang multicultural na rin kayo, even as a family. And, the last question, I guess, we have for you is, what advice do you have for Filipinos who are considering studying or moving to New Zealand pero unsure sila? Kasi like you, okay talaga sila dito eh. The career's good. Diba, parang there's opportunity for advancement. Nandito lahat ng family or most of the family. So, what advice do you have for people like that?
First, well, they have to check their age. So, kasi siyempre may age, you know naman, diba? So, there's a limit. So, parang 55 is the last age where you can apply for residency. So, kasi kung wala ka namang mapapala for residency, medyo mahirap magpunta pa dito. That's an honest answer. So, and kung unsure ka, you have to list down, siguro have a notebook and list down what are the things that makes you unsure of going here, diba? So, you should align it with what's your goal ba in life, diba? If at this point in time, like me, you really need to do MBA, diba? So parang whatever happens, I can use MBA naman in the Philippines. So wala namang nasayang na money. So actually, ang mura na nga ng pag-study sa New Zealand. If you go to Japan, 2 million. If you go to Europe, 7 million, diba? So these are reality that I know, diba? So and dito madadala mo pa yung family mo. So and I guess unsure ka kasi hindi mo nire-research eh. Hindi mo alam kung ano yung gagawin mo, diba? But ang gusto kasi ng Pilipino, gagawin ko to pero sure ako na dapat may work ako dyan diba? So, but that really, siguro, 80% will depend on you, depend on your effort. You really have to know, yun na nga, right from the start, ano ba yung experience ko, diba? What do I need to study? And you have to align everything. Tapos you have to research din dito sa New Zealand, ano yung pwede mo maging work, diba? So, and also, if hurdle yung money, then that's part of the plan. Part of the plan. So have some time to save, diba? Like, we need 2 million. So like 1 year, I save 1 million, and then you can have a loan for another million, diba? So parang ganon. And kasi ganon yung plano namin mag-asawa. Tapos pagdating dito nung asawa ko, I study, and siya naman yung nagtatrabaho. So, and somehow kinalculate namin na may matitira pa sa amin, and also few money to pay the debts or na na-acquire namin. So yun, it's very important to plan ahead. Tapos the idea of doing masters here, sa akin muna siya sa akin muna binigay ni Lord yung desires. And then na-open up ko sa husband ko. Pero hindi ko siya pinilit. I waited for him to process the information. Hindi ko siya dinrag. Kasi again, ayaw natin na nandito na, tapos sisihan na ikaw lang naman ang may gusto to go here diba? So, walang ganun. Kasi, pag ganun kayo, maapektuhan na yung the rest of the plan, diba? So, parang hindi kayo in one. So, it's best that, I'm talking about a family. So, so dapat kayo, in one kayo in decisions, in all aspect, diba? That whatever will happen, diba? Magkasama kayong dalawa. And I think walang talo. If you go in New Zealand, na-experience nyo how the life is outside of our country. And I tell you, there's a lot of learnings on that.
Yes.
So having MBA, you experience how to live outside the country, diba? And then kung na-realize nyo, oh, this is not really what we wanted to go back. Then at least you gain that experience, MBA, you can use it in the Philippines. So there's really, wala namang talo doon, walang waste naman doon, diba? You cannot pay that, walang amount of money in nakapalit yung experiences niyo, lesson. So, iba, yung mga, hindi mo maituturo, yung malalaman mo if you go out of your comfort zone than just staying in the Philippines. So, na-experience ko, so yun yung sinishare ko sa kanila.
Yeah. I really like how well-rounded your advice is. Yung, lalo na yung if you're someone who has apprehensions, diba? Hindi ka pa decided and you're unsure. There's a really practical side where you're like, list down yung apprehensions mo and then see if there's a way to plan it. Pero connecting it to what you said earlier, for the things na hindi mo pwedeng pagplanuhan, diba? There's some things na no matter how much you plan for, there's going to be a gap where only faith can fill. So I really love that about yung story mo. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna wind this out. But you gave so many profound insights about just like what it's like going through the process of moving and yung thought process around deciding whether study is for you and what you can get out of it, whether it's yung goal is for residence or it's come back home and take yung learnings. So I think yung viewers natin, we're gonna let them stew and like reflect on on what you've told us. Thank you so much for your time, Marianne. Sobrang na-appreciate talaga.
Yes,